The type tool is a tool in Photoshop which you can use to add text to your projects in Photoshop. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how the type tool works in Photoshop. Okay, now assuming that you want to bring in a title into Photoshop. Maybe this is a project you're working on and you want to bring in some text or a title into Photoshop. If your text is not a long text, now what you do is, once you've selected your type tool here, the shortcut for the type tool is T. You just need to click once, and once you click, you can now type in what you want to type. So you can just say, and you can type in what you want to type. Okay, so I've typed what I want to type. I can now use my move tool to reposition my text from one position to another. So you can use the move tool to move your text from one place to another. So assuming that we had a longer text to bring into Photoshop, if we use the same technique we have just used now, it's not going to work properly. For instance, when I click here now and maybe I paste what I have copied, I have a long text that I had copied already in my clipboard. So now I just want to paste that text so you see exactly how it works. When you paste this, you see that the text has gone beyond your canvas, and this is not something you want. So when you have a long text, the way to bring in that long text into your work is to bring it in a paragraph form. And with the type tool, that is very possible. You just need to click on the type tool, and then you click and drag, create something like a square like this. And once that is done, you just paste, Ctrl V, you paste whatever you've copied. But now my text is not showing completely here because this setting here has a small challenge, the leading setting. So I'll just need to adjust it to auto. Once you adjust it to auto, before doing that, select all the image, Ctrl A, click within this canvas, and then do Ctrl A, and then here you take auto. Once you do that, all your text now comes, and maybe part of the text may not be displayed because the font size is a little bigger, and this space which I created was too small for that text, so part of the text may not display within this frame. So this is how you bring in a text which is voluminous. Now you can align the text left by clicking here, or you align it right by clicking here. So this is the way you align your text in Photoshop. Also, you can change your font type by selecting your fonts from here. There is a long list of fonts that you can choose from in Photoshop. So once you come through this and you find the fonts that you like, you can select the font. For instance, I may want this particular font, let's say this one. Once I select it, it's applied to my text. So that is how you change your fonts in Photoshop. Then you can also change the font style from here depending on the kind of fonts. There are some fonts that have just one style, like this font is having just one style, regular. If you choose a font like, say, Montserrat, when I choose a font like Montserrat, you realize that it has different styles here which I can choose from. So when I click here, you see the style is being applied. When I click here, it's being applied. So that is how you change the style of your text in Photoshop. And here you can also increase the font size. You can increase the font size, you can reduce the font size, and here adjust the way the fonts will look by choosing any of these settings. So from there you can also change the color of your fonts by double clicking here. Once you double click there, you see the color picker dialog box appears where you can modify your color. You can choose any color that you want. Maybe I want the orange, this pink. You select the color according to the background. I think white works best with this background, so I'm just going to maintain white for now. Okay, Then after that, you can also go to the character panel, where you can find many other settings to adjust with your text. So if you come here, if you cannot find your character panel, just go to Windows and you click on character is going to appear. So within this character panel, like we've already talked about, the font type, the font style here, the font size, metrics. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this setting, the leading. What the leading does is, it is the space between the lines. For instance, the more I increase this, the more the space between the various lines in the paragraph, and when I reduce it, it reduces back to this. So you can always adjust it to any desired setting that you want. And here in the leading, this one is and here, this is the tracking. The tracking works on the space. It affects the space in between your text. For instance, I may want to adjust the tracking of this text. I just need to select all the text, and I come here. As I click and drag to the right, it increases the tracking. When I click to the left, it reduces the tracking. So that is what the tracking button is meant for. And this button here is to make the text bold. Once I click on it, it's no more bold. Once I click on it, it boldens the text. This is for italics. This is for caps, all caps. So you can type your text in lowercase and convert it to all caps. This also modifies your text into this form. And maybe you want to write a date. Maybe you write a date like 19th. Okay, 19th. Now you want this, the th, to appear as a degree on this 19. You just have to click on this button, and that goes up. Increase the size so you can see. That is how you do that. If you want a subscript, let's say we want to write L1, L subscript 1. I just need to write, let me say 5, sorry. I just need to select this, click on this button, and it becomes a subscript. And then if I want to underline a text, select the text, click on this button, the text is underlined. If I want to check out cross out the text, I just need to click on this one, and the text is crossed out. So these are the basic settings of the type tool in Photoshop, which you can use to introduce text into your design. So I'm going to be showing you some fun ways that you can use the type tool in Photoshop to create amazing designs. Okay, assuming that you want to, the type tool can write on a path. For instance, I can use my pen tool and I create a path here like this. When my path has been created, all I need to do is I click on the type tool, bring my cursor to when this you see the shape changes to this stroke. Once that stroke comes, I just click there, and now I can type whatever I want to type. So for now, you can see that the space is small. This X here shows you where the typing space begins, and this circle here shows you where it ends. So what I'm going to do now to increase this so that the text follows this path is to hold the control key and click here. Once I click there, I can increase this path so that my text now follows this direction. And also you will see that my text is kind of upside down. To correct that, I just need to hold control and I click the opposite direction, and you see my text now has been modified. So I can also click here and bring this back so that the text comes back behind. So that is the way you can write on a path in Photoshop. You can select this, reduce the boldness, maybe change the style of the font. Let's say I go back to Montserrat, which we used last time. I make it thinner, then reduce the size of the font, something small like that. That is it. Also, I can decide to write within a shape. Let's say I select, I create a new layer, select a circle. I want to write in a circle. I just need to draw my shape like this. Once the shape is drawn, I can eliminate the fill. When I take the type tool, I bring my cursor to where you see when it turns into this stroke, you click there and then maybe you paste your text. You see the text has automatically been included. That is a way to add text to a shape in Photoshop. So let me show you another interesting thing you can do in Photoshop. You can also design a custom path in which your text will be written. So let's use this picture for example. I can come here and I draw a custom path using my pen tool. If you don't understand how the pen tool works, please, you can watch my other tutorial on the pen tool. So I can draw something like this, make a selection like this. Once the selection is complete, I can now go to my text tool, ensure that my color is maybe black. Then I click within this selection, within this path that I created, and I click inside. Now I can now paste my text, Control V, and now you know that the leading of the whole paragraph is too wide. That's why you can't really see the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this leading to auto so that the text will all be around the same point. And then probably I increase my font size. I increase it again so that we can see. I don't want this to be too big. Yeah, something like this. Wow, yeah. Oops, sorry. Go back a little. Maybe to 30 or 20. Yeah, something like that. So you see the nice effects that this has created. Now this is what most people who edit newspapers actually use. So it's a nice effect. You can move it around your subject. Yeah, that is it. So these are the basic settings in Photoshop which you can use to manipulate your text within Photoshop. So if you found this video interesting, please like, share, subscribe to my channel so that you can get updated with the new videos as I release them. Thank you for watching.